Hey, woke rock stars. Welcome back to Anugraha Grace Journey. I'm Anugraha, and I point to the truth that we're all on a spiritual awakening journey, whether we're aware of it or not, because the entire purpose of life is to spiritually awaken to our true nature, which is love. I offer practical guidance on how to awaken with more grace and ease based on my own wisdom that I acquired along my path of spiritual awakening, and I hope that it benefits you. So, today I'm being guided to offer a different perception surrounding meditation and how we can use right now methods of meditation to move through some of the most major challenges of our lives. Before we begin, I'd like to just ground ourselves and just become present by taking 3 nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Just become present. Understand that there's nothing to do but this right here, right now. Okay, welcome back. All right, so let me just talk about my experience with meditation. I did a lot of research when I was going through some of the most challenging parts of my life. And meditation was one of the things that I really I wanted to grasp it. And I was trying everything to try to get it right. But what I realized is that meditation is a very personal experience. It's not really something etched in stone, and this is based on my own perceptions and experiences during my journey. Everybody has a different idea. Some people believe that it should be, you're supposed to clear your mind and you're supposed to become completely quiet, and that's great. And if you can do that, that's wonderful. If you can do that, you're not listening to this. Believe me. Trust me. So, but when I finally surrendered, when I finally just let go of all of the rules and regulations surrounding meditation, I was actually provided some really useful methods within myself that helped me move through the challenges, and it's still helping me move through certain challenges in my life with a lot more grace and ease and less worry and frustration. If you want to carve out a few minutes of your day to meditate, that's great. It's always a good practice. I personally feel that meditation can be brought into and would benefit us to bring it into our daily lives in everything that we face. I know we can all agree that life can sometimes hand us quite a few lemons, right? And so what do we do when we're faced with challenges? What do we normally do? Well, it's natural to become frustrated, to become fearful, to become angry, to want to blame, right? That's natural. It's natural to do that. But in order to grasp these methods that I'm guided to offer, it's important to understand three key things. Number one, we are all sovereign beings. We're sovereign co-creators with the universe, which means that nothing is happening to us. Rather, everything that occurs is happening for us. Now, that's a major change in perception, and it can be very difficult to grasp that, especially if you're like me and you've experienced quite a bit of trauma. You know, often when we experience trauma, immediately we want to blame. Immediately, we want to ask the question, why? Why is this occurring? Why is this happening to me? And in that space of the whys and, the blame, we lose our sense of sovereignty. We lose our sense of power. And this is one card I happened to pull today. The Sun card. And the sun represents power. And if you can see the little guy on the horse, to me, he's representing freedom and liberation. And freedom and liberation comes with our sovereignty. It comes with understanding that everything that occurs is for our highest good, no matter how dark the experience, no matter how difficult the experience, it's occurring for our highest good. And at some level, we called it into our lives. So that's one thing to understand. Another thing to understand is that this is going to take practice. It's not anything that's going to happen overnight. It definitely didn't happen overnight for me. I'm still practicing, and sometimes you're going to fall off. Sometimes you're not going to be able to become present in the moment when challenges occur. And that's okay. It's okay, because this is not a blame game. It's not about judging yourself. It's not about blaming anybody. It's just about surrendering to your highest nature, which is love. Okay. So let's talk about the methods that I was given. I like to call them right now methods of meditation. And these methods have helped me and are continuously helping me move through certain challenges that just pop up because, they're not timed. They just happen, right? The first method is the breath. If you know anything about meditation, you know about the breath. The breath is a powerful tool. It is our life source. Without the breath, forget about it, right? So immediately when you're faced with something that's seems completely overwhelming, if you can become present through your breath, to just breathe and just focus and observe your breath. Why? Why? Because if you're breathing, you're okay, right? If we're breathing, it ain't so bad, right? So that's one thing. Another thing is that the breath gives us vital energy. And when we choose it in the moment, in an overwhelming moment, it helps us to ground. It helps us to find a sense of peace right in the moment. Another thing, another method that I find very useful is self-inquiry. In the moment, when there's a challenge, self-inquiry is just asking ourselves some questions that pertain to our sovereignty and our inner power. And one major question I always ask myself when something just pops up unexpected and I feel overwhelmed in a moment, and I breathe and I ask myself, what is this situation teaching me about my perceived limitations? Right? Because if we're sovereign, okay, and we're co-creating with the universe, and we're calling these situations to us, we're calling them to us to help us break free. We're calling them to us to help us break free in the moment. Okay, there's a challenge right now, and I feel overwhelmed. This is about becoming honest with what it is we're thinking, we're feeling, and we're experiencing in this moment. This is not about denying ourselves the experience. You know, we talk about raising our vibration and changing our thoughts and this and that, and that's beautiful. But it starts with becoming honest. Becoming honest. Listen, I feel like crap right now. This experience is hurting me, and it's scary. We're going to become real and honest about what it is we're feeling, what it is we're thinking. What is this particular situation showing me about my perceived limitations? Maybe it's showing me how much I don't trust myself, how much I don't trust my inner guidance, and how I can improve on that. Because each challenge, which is another self-inquiry, what opportunity is this challenge bringing up for me? Because each challenge is an opportunity to break free. In some way, shape, or form, it's here to help us to break free from something. And the only way to do that is to become very honest with the feelings that it's bringing up, with the thoughts and the perceived limitations that they're bringing up, whatever challenge that comes up. And so that's 2 self-inquiry questions right there. Why? or what is this experience showing me about my perceived limitations? What opportunities is this situation presenting me to break free? And finally, how can I trust? How can I trust and surrender to my higher self, who I know has my back? I know has my back. How can I trust and surrender to my higher self and to the universe? Because this is something I had input in creating in some shape, form, or fashion. And in this, we reclaim our power in the moment, in the right now moment. This was another card I pulled, Let Go. It's and it says, walk away from this situation in order to resolve it. And that's exactly what we're doing in the right now moment. When we choose to become present, when we choose to become present, maybe we are not in a situation where we can walk off physically, but we can do it within ourselves by just breathing and asking ourselves, what is this challenge teaching me about my perceived limitations? What opportunities is this challenge making present for me? And how can I trust my higher self and the universe? Trust that my higher self and the universe has my back, and that I have input. I've had input into this. When I've asked myself these questions, when I've become present in the moment and asked myself these questions, I get answers. And I mean, I get answers that help me break free from perceived limitations, my own perceived limitations. And no matter what challenge it is, trauma, no matter what it is, somewhere there's a sense of victimhood, and that's a limitation. Somewhere there's a sense of blame. And how can we blame when everyone in our reality is ourselves in a different form? So I hope that this message helps you as it helped me.